Good, there. Okay, a very good evening to all of you. It's 8:30 here in the UK. Nice to see you all. I hope you've enjoyed the 8 hands that you played tonight. This is another selection of hands that have been collected by Alan from various sources. Most of them he's seen played, and he may have tweaked them a little bit to make them more interesting. This first board that's on your screen is one such hand that he saw played some considerable time ago when one of the players was an England international lady by the name of Michelle Brunner. We'll come to that in a moment. First of all, if you have any questions or comments, then please send them to the table so that everybody can see what the question or comment is, and I will do my best to answer it. I don't know if Alan's going to join us or not, but if he does, then we will invite him to join our comments too. Everyone's nice and quiet. I haven't needed to mute you all, but keep your mute. Don't activate your microphones unless you really feel you need to. Okay, here's the first board, and the auction we were given was not like that. How do I get rid of these pictures? Oh, there we go. Right. So we have starting with North 1 club. As always, my computer goes a bit slow when I've got recording going as well. 1 heart from South. Pass. 2 no trumps. Typically 18 and 19 the way I play it, certainly. Maybe a little bit lighter for here. But South has got no problem about bidding 3 no trumps. And that becomes the final contract. And congratulations to Pat, because Pat got this absolutely perfectly. And I think other people made the contract, but only because the opposition chose not to defend as well as they might have. And you could say that about this, but this is a lot more trickier for them. So the lead is a 5 of spades. And where are our tricks? Well, we've got 4 diamond tricks and 2 spade tricks is 6. So we need at least 3 club tricks. The problem is that the hearts are wide open. And just imagine that we win this first trick, as you would expect, with the queen. Well, you can cash 1 top club just in case the queen falls. You never know. Good West signals his length. Now we cross the dummy with the diamond. And we take the club finesse. Now, what does East know at this point? He knows that Declare started off with the ace king to 5 clubs and the ace of diamonds and the queen of spades and the ace of spades. So if we're going to take any defensive tricks at all, it's got to be in hearts. We can see Declare has got 3 more diamonds and 3 more clubs, and he's already taken 6 tricks. So all we do by not playing a heart is give him 10. So difficult though it may be for East, if he switches to the ace of hearts now, then the opposition will take the next 4 heart tricks, and that will be 1 off. And that's good defense. But how do we stop it? Well, let's just put the board back up to the table. Save me undoing everything again. We know that North is playing in 3 no trumps, so we'll just let him bid 3 no trumps. I mentioned Michelle Brunner. Michelle Brunner was actually sitting East on this hand in an international event. And she led the 5 of spades. Goes 9. Jack, and declarer won with the ace, not with the queen. The impression that declarer is trying to give is that he hasn't got the queen, otherwise he would have won with the queen. And when he takes a possibly losing club finesse, East hopefully will place the queen of spades with his partner or her partner and continue spades, and then we'll be home and dry, won't we? So we can do the same thing again with the clubs. Now we play a diamond. And we run the jack of clubs. And Michelle fell into the trap. She played a little spade to her supposed partner's queen. And declarer breathed a sigh of relief. And is very quickly, having taken 4 tricks, we've now got 3 more diamonds is 7, and 3 more clubs is 10. So we're going to claim 10 tricks. Now the question is, should Michelle have got that right? I'm booming. Try turning it off and turning it on again. I don't know who was North Jack. I don't know. But there are some. Yeah, Pat did it this way. Yes, I'm saying. Yeah, the others played the queen, and then East did not switch to hearts. Although I think East should have switched to hearts once he knows declarer's got the ace queen of spades. Then that I think the heart switch is mandatory when the club finesse loses. I was a little surprised that other people didn't, but they didn't, and so that's why I say some declarers still made it. But they made it because the defence didn't, in my view, cash the hearts when they should have. Pat did what I've just done and played the ace at trick 1, and she didn't seem to think about it for very long. So, but there is a slight clue that might have disturbed the apple cart. If North has got queen ace to 3 spades, well, isn't it usual to duck? He might be in a position where he plays a club from dummy and West jumps up with the queen and he can let him keep it if he can duck with spades twice. But he's going to be taking the finesse into the hand that presumably has got the length in spades. So that's not that much of a clue. But well done to Pat. And I think it's a nice hand. It is sneaky, but it is a well-recognised ploy. And it certainly worked for Pat on this occasion. And so well done, Pat. And we're impressed. Do we have any questions or comments on board 1? Yeah, that's a point, Terry. Yeah, but when you can see those 4 little hearts in dummy, but you know, you can already count declarer for 7 points in clubs. The ace of diamonds is 11. The queen of spades is 13, and the ace of spades is 17. So with the king of hearts, that would be 20. That would be too much. You'd have to open 2 no trumps with that. So a little bit of counting just the high card points that you know about should convince you that A, declarer hasn't got 4 hearts for sure because he would have supported them, and B, he doesn't have the king. So declarer wins the first trick with the queen of spades. In my view, it should go down. Maybe not everybody thinks the same. 4. Right, board 2. We're going to move on to board 2 and export it to the table. Go. And the bidding, a competitive sequence we're given. 1 spade by East. 2 hearts. I think that's a bit frisky myself, but there you go. No, explain this is what happened, we were told. 3 diamonds. Again, not the sort of values I would bid 3 diamonds on, but who knows. 4 diamonds. East. 5 diamonds. West. Good job it's not match points, because I have a rule with my regular partners. We don't play in 5 of a minor when it's match point. We either play in 4 or we play in 6. But there we go. We're in 5 diamonds. It's going to be played by West, and we get the lead of the Ace of Hearts. Now, when South has already shown a 5-card heart suit, and quite clearly we're not going to make any more heart tricks because they're going to be roughed, this is a good time to actually signal what you would like partner to switch to. In this case, the 2 of Hearts said, I'd like you to play a club, please, partner. We're not going to make tricks in hearts. But partner did what partners do. Partner think, I got a much better switch than that. I'm going to switch to the Queen of Spades, which is what we stipulated that you had to do. Okay, the 2 of Clubs, the contract would have gone off because we're going to take the Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Clubs, and subsequently the King of Diamonds. But here we go. We've got the Queen of Spades. Now, we could take a straightforward diamond finesse, but let's look at the evidence. South somehow found an overcall of 2 hearts without the ace or the king or the jack. And we haven't lost the significance of that 2 of hearts. So he's got the Ace of Clubs and the Queen of Hearts, but he had nothing in spades, we don't think, because the Queen of Spades has just been led. So he's got to have the King of Diamonds. He's got to have the King of Diamonds. He really hasn't got a semblance of a bid without it. So we know the diamond finesse is going to lose, and if we take it now, then he'll make the King of Diamonds and he'll cash the Ace of Clubs, no doubt. Right. So we've got to get rid of that club. Where can it go? Well, it can't go on a heart. It can only go on a spade, which means we've got to set the spades up. Have we got the entries to do that? Well, we can play, if we play the Ace of Diamonds first so that the King, if it doesn't drop, is now a singleton, then we can play Ace of Spades, ruff a spade, over to a heart and ruff another spade, then a heart ruff and ruff another spade, and then the spade will be good. So provided the spades are not 5-1, that's the line we're going to take. I'm going to play a diamond first. You see how counting the values that we believe people to have makes a big difference. King of Diamonds hasn't got, we can be fairly sure that it's South that got it. Now we're going to ruff a spade. Notice that it won't help for South to ruff with the King of Diamonds. We'll just throw our club away. So he can throw a heart. We will ruff. And we'll go over to the King of Hearts. No, I can't throw a heart this time, otherwise it's going to make the Jack of Hearts good, so we'll throw a club instead. There is going to ruff. And we have now established the 7 of spades as a trick. But we know that South has got the length in hearts. There's no danger of anything going wrong with this. And away goes our losing club. It doesn't matter whether South roughs it or not. All South can now make will be the king of diamonds. Declare can rough the other heart and just lose the king of diamonds. I don't know how many people got that one right, Sanya. Right, Dimitri and Glennis, they both set established the spades. Yeah, well done. Yeah, thank you, Jack. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 2? Okay. Let's move on to board 3. 3. Send it to the table, we say. And this auction, 2 clubs. Us. 2 diamonds, relay, I would imagine, but doesn't specifically say so. Pass. 2 no trumps. Pass. 3 no trumps. What's wrong, Terry? Don't get me wrong. Well, South, yeah, North South do have the clubs and the diamonds. Yes, that's quite right. Okay. No opposition bidding, and I'm told by Alan that this comes from Conrad, or it's been slightly amended, but that's the where the credit belongs for the hand itself. Alan doesn't like the auction very much because he's asking how on earth do you get 5 clubs if you bid like this? Well, the answer is you don't, but 5 clubs is a much better contract, we think. South has the 2 club bid, but East has 4 high. East has 4 high card points. Yeah. I don't know what methods are being used here. I'm going, given the bidding that I had, 2 clubs, maybe something different, maybe a Benjamin 2 clubs showing 21, 22. Yeah, but it is South that's open 2 clubs here. You're looking at a different screen to me. South has opened 2 clubs, has he not? On the screen I'm looking at, South has opened 2 clubs. East has not bid at all. Do we have a problem here? This is all right. A muddle then. Oh, that's very peculiar. How on is that happening? You see East opening 2 clubs. I'm going to scrap the board and I'm going to come back to it. So I'm going to don't know what's going on. I'm going to I'm going to put another board up and then I'll come back to this one and see if it makes any difference. Right, so that will be board 4, but I'll come back to board 3 and export this to the table. All right. Okay, well, it's a known bug, is it? Okay. Right, now we'll start again with South opening 2 clubs. Does that work for you now? That's okay now. Okay, all right. Well, we'll cut through all the rubbish and just undo that and make South be 3 no trumps. Okay, because that's what we're going to be in. There we go. Thank you, Carol. It's okay now. Okay, well, we've managed to resolve it anyway. And we get the lead at the Jack of Spades. And our friend that claimed the beer card twice tonight, he played this in an excellent fashion too. I was very impressed. We need to give him 4 gold stars. Sanya, I think. Yeah, that was really good. Anyway, let's have a look at it. How do we make this? Well, these doubleton spade in each hand, that's really inconvenient. And the thing to realize is that trying to establish the clubs is not going to work unless the spades are something like 7-1 or something like that, or 7-2, 6-2. If they're 7-2, then we might get away with it if the hand that has to take the second club has only got the 2 spades. But that's a pretty long shot, isn't it? Okay, can we do any better? Well, the answer is yes, we can. And we can use the Queen of Spades in dummy, although we can't get under it. Well, maybe we can let the opposition choose to let us use it. And what we're going to do, because we can't establish the clubs, if we play a club, they'll win and knock out the other spade. And then when we play another club, they'll have umpteen spades to catch. That's not going to work. This is what we're going to do instead. We're going to win the spade because we don't have a choice. And now we're going to play diamonds and hope that the diamonds are 3-2. Where's the entry to the diamonds, you ask? We haven't got one, I say. Do we need one? Now we'll give them their diamond trick. And now all of a sudden they can't carry on with spades. Because if they do, I've got 3 diamond tricks in dummy. So I've made 3 tricks. I'll make 3 more diamonds and the Queen of Spades. That'll be 7, and the Ace King of Hearts will be 9. So now the only danger for me now is that the opposition can get the hearts going. So I've got to hope that either the heart finesse is right if I'm forced into that position, or that the person that takes the first club doesn't have another one to play. Beer card danger, exactly, Terry. Yeah, this is one of the hands where the beer card can. So anyway, East does its best by switching to a heart. And now plays on clubs. Now, West can see that playing a spade is clearly hopeless because he's going to give declare those diamond tricks. So he's going to play a heart. Doesn't really matter which one he plays. East could have spared himself the beer by ducking this trick, but he didn't. Now he played a heart. It is if you're in those sort of circles, Terry, yes. You can see what declared it now. Instead of cashing all his good clubs, he played a club to dummy. West conceded at this point. But North and South said, "Oh no, I want to play this out. I want my beer." So he continued with the Queen of Spades, then the Nine of Diamonds, and then finally the Seven of Diamonds, and claimed his pints of beer from everybody. That's going to make 10 tricks. Applause, yes, indeed. Very well played. I don't think anybody else played it like that. I watched 2 tables go down. Yes, well judged. Well judged. Obviously, the lure of the beer card was enough to spur him on. Okay, and enough about the beer card. Any other questions or comments on board 3? Right, let's find you board 4. Here comes board 4. You do the table. Not only did he make consecutive games, 2 lots of beer cards, he did it on consecutive hands. Would you believe it? Okay, here's board 4. Again, we have a competitive auction. North opened a heart. After a pass from West. Pass. 1 no trump from South. Pass. I think Sanya made the point this was an SAYC, not a 2/1 auction, because a 2/1, of course, 1 no trump would be forcing. No, but no, North decides to pass this. These things, well, I'm not letting you play in 1 no trump. I'm going to bid 2 spades. How many played it? How many made this one, John? 3 out of 4 made this. Okay. I wonder how many of them made it with the right line. I saw one hand that rather helped them on the way. But let's see. We're given the lead of the Queen of Hearts. Now, I personally, I don't like this this 9 of Hearts. I think it's probably better to switch to a spade to try and stop. You know, we can't ruff anything without giving a trick away. We don't think so. I probably myself would have switched to a spade. And after all said and done, partners open the bidding. East has not got a super spade trick because he would have bid them to start with and didn't. But anyway, we're told that the 9 of Hearts came next. North wins. And what should North do now? At one table, they switched to a low club. Didn't work very well. I think the right switch now is to a spade. We can see that we know Declare's got 2 hearts. We don't want him to let him ruff 2 hearts. So I would switch to a spade. Declare can win. Now, can he get 2 ruffs? Can't get 2 heart ruffs because if he plays a club, which is his only direct way of getting back to hand without using a trump, North can jump in and play another trump. So trying to get heart ruffs is not the answer. But it's possible that we can, with 1 club ruff, set up the 10 of clubs. So surely better to go for a club ruff in hand to try and establish the 10, rather than we can't possibly make 2 heart tricks, 2 heart ruffs. They just won't let us. So, well, we'll play a club. And we need at least 1 heart ruff, so we'll take our ace. And we're going to cash the king of clubs before we take the heart ruff, because we're hoping that the jack's going to fall in 3. Now we'll get our heart ruff. Doesn't help South to ruff high, and it won't help him to throw the club away, so he'll throw a diamond. And now we'll ruff the club. The jack of clubs falls. All we've got to do now is guess who's got the ace of diamonds and who's got the queen. Well, which is it? Do we run the jack, or do we go up with the king? Well, let's do a little bit of counting. North opened a heart, and we've seen him with the ace, king of hearts, and the ace of clubs. That's 11, and the jack of spades. That's 12. Now, if he also had the ace of diamonds, playing SAYC, he's probably going to be opening this 1 no trump rather than 1 heart. It's a minor clue. His distribution may be sort of 5 4 2 2. But may not have opened 1 no trump in the first place, even if he's got those values. But any clue is better than no clue at all. So using that rather flimsy evidence, you might say, we're going to play South for the ace of diamonds. At least, we don't know about the queen, but we don't think the ace of diamonds is likely to be with North. So we're going to play a diamond. South gives him a chance to go wrong. But he doesn't. Now the 10 of clubs. And we can throw one of our red suit losers away. It doesn't really matter which one. We'll throw the heart away. South can ruff it if he wants. We cash the ace of diamonds. And that gives us our 8 tricks. Well, most people were going to make it anyway, were they, Jock? Okay.
I would add, Colin, you have to play for the king at ace of diamonds with South, or you cannot make the contract. You just go 1 off.
No, you
need the entry to the 10 of clubs. So.
Yes, you do. Indeed. Alan, welcome. Didn't realise you'd joined us, but
I have to keep you in check, Colin.
Yeah, so I know. I've noticed.
I normally send minions to do it, but today.
Anyway, welcome, Alan. I can't see who arrives now because I'm checking the screen and I've got
this.
No I didn't see you arrive, but okay. Can I mute the kibble? I'm not going to mute Alan. He would be most offended. Right. Do we have any other questions on board or comments? You're kidding only. I don't believe a word of it, Samuel. Okay, let's go on to board 5. 5. Export to the table. And we have an uncontested auction that goes 1 heart, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. So I'm just going to bid 4 hearts with the North hand. And we get the lead of the King of Diamonds. I understand that our friend Caroline played this hand and been altered a little by Alan again to bring out the points he wants to win. Now, what can we do? Well, we've got 5 heart tricks and 1 diamond is 6 and 2 clubs is 8. Possibly an extra club trick if they're breaking, even if the club finesse is wrong. And possibly a spade trick if the ace of spades is right. This is a lesson in combining our chances. Let's have a look at it. So we can take the ace of diamonds, We can duck it, but there's no real advantage in ducking it. We don't mind. We're going to lose a diamond anyway. So what's our plan going to be? Well, we take the ace of diamonds and draw the trumps ending in dummy. If the club finesse is working, it'll still be working later. We don't need to do that quickly, but we need to lead a spade from dummy. So let's say we play a spade to the king. If it loses, now we're going to need the club finesse to not only work, we're going to need the clubs to be 3-2 as well. But if the spade finesse wins, if the king wins, or if the ace goes up ahead of the king, then we can cope with a 4-1 club break. That's got to be a better chance. We can eliminate the spades and give them the diamond, let them cash the diamonds, and we can have a position where we can dock a second club if necessary. So that's going to be our plan. Let's have a look. So we'll win the ace of diamonds. I don't think there's any percentage in ducking the first diamond. And we want to finish in dummy, having drawn the trumps, and they might be 3-1. Let's hope they're not 4-0. So we're going to start off with a heart to hand. Second heart. Okay, so this will be the third heart. Ace is hanging on to his clubs, of course. And now we're going to play a spade. Well, I think, and so does Alan, that E West should go up with the ace here. I don't think it can cost him. It doesn't actually make a difference, but let's say that he does. It doesn't make any difference. And naturally continues with diamonds, say. Right, well, another diamond, which the pair will ruff. That's diamonds have been eliminated now. We don't have diamonds in either hand. And when we cash the king of spades, we don't have any spades left in either hand. So now we can play a club. If West follows to the next one, we will simply take the finesse, because the suit will have broken whenever. But we now know the finesse is not going to work. But what's East got left? He's got clubs, 3 clubs, and another card, which is either a diamond or a spade. And if we let him win the club, he can either play a club back into our ace-jack, or he can play the diamond or spade, whichever he's got, which will give us a rough and discard. So all we need to do is to duck this club, or East is, as they say, snookered. Let's say he plays, maybe he hopes his partner's got jack of clubs, but he can't have, can he? He's just shown out. Well, Declarer hasn't got a diamond, he doesn't think, but maybe that's the answer. And we're going to throw a club from one hand and ruff in the other hand. And claim 2 more tricks. And it won't help for West to play low on the first spade, or Declarer can simply exit with the second spade, and the spades will still be eliminated. He'll have made his 1 spade trick, and the opposition can cash their diamond, but the situation will come down to the same thing. And yeah, absolutely right, Sanya. I know exactly how much work Alan puts in creating these hands, because not only does he do them, he then gives them to either to Catherine or Caroline or sometimes me, just to check that the intended line works as it intended. It's all quite a lot of hard work. Caroline, yeah, you as well. Yeah. Anyway, well done, Alan. I think you do an excellent job. Thanks, Jock. What do you mean if the spade doesn't? If the spade doesn't work, Caroline, well, let's put the board back up to the table. Hold on, and we'll just play it through and imagine. Right, so we're in 4 hearts by North. There we go. As I said, this is a lesson really in combining our chances. Now, so the lead of King of Diamonds the same. We win. We play in 3 rounds of trumps as we did before. Because one of our chances is the spade being right for us. But let's say that the spade is wrong. So we're going to lead a spade. Now, he plays low. We'll imagine that this king loses to the ace. Right, so when East plays now, he plays the ace of spades and he continues with diamonds. But we haven't lost yet. We're now going to lose 2 spades and we're going to lose another diamond. What it boils down to is that now we need the club finesse to work and we need the clubs to be 3-2. And if those 2 things occur, we can still make the contract. If East has got the guarded queen of clubs, we can't make it no matter what we do. That's what it boils down to. Okay, any other questions or comments on board 5?
I would say something, Colin.
What's that, Alan? Go ahead.
It's very rare that rising with an ace is correct. The ace of spades was played when you led the low spade from dummy. And it's because, of course, you should be keeping the ace to beat the honours in dummy. And since you've got the queen, that'll beat the jack. And for once, there's no need to keep the queen. But I didn't want to encourage people to rise with aces as a habit. It's a
No, I agree with you.
very bad habit. Yeah.
Right, we will move on to board 6. I spent a lot of time looking at board 6, and I think I might have missed something, but we'll have a look. Through the table. I'm sure I haven't spent a lot of time on board 6 as well. Okay. This starts off with a weak 2 diamond bid from East. Certainly not Alan's favourite. Sorry, that's not what we wanted to do. 2 diamonds we wanted. I think Alan likes weak 2s in diamond. Pass. Double from North. Pass. 3 spades. It's one of these tricky situations. What do you do with the sand and these values? You can't bid no trumps. You've got no diamond stock. You can hardly just bid 2 spades. You've got too many values yet. On the other hand, you've only got 4 spades. And there's no mechanism that I know of that says to partner, I've got a 4-card major, but not a 5-card one. You can do it when the weak 2 is an opening in a major, but you can't do it when it's a weak 2 in diamonds. Okay, so anyway, we get 3 spades and North thinks, okay, well, 4 spades is the obvious contract then. Now, I'm going to play this a couple of times at least. Generally speaking, when you have length in trumps, the strategy, the best strategy, is to force declarer to ruff. Right, so you start off by playing your long suit, except on this occasion you don't have a long suit. Partner's got a long suit, but is that going to work the same? Let's see what happens if we start off with diamonds. Let's see what we do. Well, if we continue with another diamond, what's declarer going to do now? He can sort of ruff in dummy and knock out the ace of spades, and dummy will still have a spade to guard against another diamond. If they don't spades twice, then declarer can start on clubs. Right, so if they start on the diamonds, doesn't matter what they do next, even if they switch to a low spade. Declarer can always get home. And all he needs to do now is to start on the clubs. There's still the jack of spades in dummy. You just keep playing clubs and they can make their two trump tricks, but that's all they'll make. Clubs will be good enough. So we'll put it back to the table again. Now, so a spade lead looks called for. What the opposition want to do, they want to make you rough diamonds, but they want to draw the trumps as well. And of course, they can't do both. But if they start off with the ace of spades, let's try that. Let's make it four hearts again by four spades again by south. We know that east open two diamonds. Here we go, four spades. Right. Now, if we start off with the ace of spades, and continue with the second spade to stop the diamond ruffs, well, declarer has now got 3 spade tricks and 5 club tricks and 2 heart tricks. So he's got 10 tricks without breaking sweat. So the ace of spades won't help either. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So we'll come to the lead that we actually asked you to make in the first place, and that was a low spade. They're trying to keep their options open. Now it becomes a little bit trickier. And North has got to present both threats. He can actually cash a club if he wants to, but essentially he needs to get a diamond drop. So he's going to play a diamond. Doesn't really matter which of these take it. Now, what's going to happen now? If East plays a spade, well, if West ducks it, we're back to where we were before. We leave the spades alone now and we start on the clubs. And if he doesn't duck it, so go on, Alan.
What do you mean, come on?
I thought you started to say something. I beg your
pardon. No. It's lower on the line or something. Nothing to do with me.
Okay. If he doesn't duck it, Now, if he plays another spade, he stops the diamond ruff, but declarer's got 10 tricks just the same. So as long as declarer wins the jack of spades or the 10 of spades in dummy at trick 1 and immediately plays a diamond, it doesn't matter what the defense do. If they play a diamond, he gets his diamond ruff, and then he can afford to lose that. So what's he going to do now? Try another spade? The declarer can now draw the last trump, and he's still got his 5 club tricks and 2 heart tricks, and that will bring his total to 10. How many made this one, Sanya? Do we know? Jock's left us, so we can't. He didn't look. Never mind. Never mind. I couldn't watch anybody. I couldn't watch everybody. I watched a couple who did make it. Whether they made it because the opposition helped them or whether they made it because they got it right, I don't really know. All right, but it's simply a matter really of sort of working out who's going to do what. If I do this, they'll do that. If I do this, they'll do that. And if you follow that, the 3 made over tricks. Oh well, thank you, Terry. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? Okay, let us find board 7. The table. Yes, as Sanya was saying, we do have pre-testers. Catherine looks at these hands, so although she's been invited a couple of times to play in this event, she can't because she's already seen the hands. And much as I would like to join in when Sanya's looking for substitutes, I'm in the same position. I've seen the hands as well. If I hadn't, I'd probably be making a mess of it, same as everybody else does. Right. Yeah, you can laugh, Alan. You're agreeing.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. Okay. Excuses. Yeah, indeed. Right, here we go. After a pass from South. This is a competitive auction, so we'll give it to you. 1 diamond. 2 spades. Weak. We're told. Double. I don't think this was the original auction. I think, Alan, they originally this hand be 3 hearts and they finished up in 4, which was too high. Pass, 3 diamonds. Pass, 3 hearts. And this gets passed out. Now, let's have a look at this. Well, partners bid diamonds and they've only got 1. So surely I can get a diamond ruff or 2. Well, he puts the 9 in just to try and make his North think that South has got the jack. Help. Now North plays the 2 of diamonds back, and South ruffs it. 2 of diamonds asks for a club. This is the way we signal what we would like partner to return after giving him a ruff. I know I bid spades, but you can see spades is no good. So I want you to play clubs, partner. All right, so South is going to play a club. Well, we'll see what happens if South plays the king of clubs, which seems like the normal thing to do. Right, here's the important thing. If that is from Jack 10 Doubleton, what's going to happen? If East wins this with the ace, then he plays a heart, South pounces and plays a little club, which his partner is either going to ruff or he's going to win with the 10. And then he gets another diamond ruff. So to counteract that, East needs to duck this club. North have got a singleton. He can't do anything about it anyway. South can continue with another club. Now what? We play a heart now.
No.
Big fun.
A club will be rough with the 8.
Why can't we rough the club with the jack in dummy?
I thought you were going to play to the jack. Silly me. I thought you were hovering over.
No.
See, now it was an optical illusion. Carry right on. Don't worry about. Oh, the king of hearts. Good idea.
I was aware of that danger. Thank you, Alan.
Stop frightening me.
Right, but South can see that leading a spade is not going to be any good at all, so he will try another heart. His partner might conceivably have the 10, another club rather, but we can afford to rough. Now we can draw the last 2 trumps. They'll actually fall, but then they've really not fallen, and we can claim the rest of the tricks. But I'm going to claim this. Now I'm going to put it back to the table again. Because Alan likes me to do that, you know. All right, so we've got 3 hearts by East as the final contract. We won't forget that North did here we go with the 6 of diamonds again. And asking for a club. That's a good question. Yes, this is just what I'm going to do. Why should South lead a little club? He doesn't expect his partner to have the ace because his partner's made a weak bid and he's got 6 spades to the queen, presumably, and 2 more aces as well. So, but you're absolutely right, because if South does play, Ratner, if South does play a small club, then Declare has got no defense. He can't do a thing about it. If he doesn't win this trick, South gets another diamond rough. And if he does win this trick and plays a heart, South jumps in. Now he knows his partner's got the jack of clubs because of the 10 forced the ace. So absolute full marks to anybody that did or would lead a low club in that situation. I have to confess, I'm not sure that I would. My partner's asked for a club, but then maybe he's done that. Maybe he didn't have a choice much, but we can both see that leading spades is not going to help. But anybody did find... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You should do it playing imps, where just setting the contract is the only thing that matters. Yeah. I think it's mad to lead a low diamond at match points. You just
low club, you mean? But yeah,
a low club. You're giving away a top a lot of the time.
Yes, at match points. Yes, that's a very good point, Alan. Thank you. Okay, so we will claim this one as one off now. Down 1. There we go. So, but very well spotted, Ratner. A low club will take it off, but you need partner to have the jack and the 10, because otherwise you still can't get partner in to do another one. So it's a bit of a long shot at the best of times. I think the vast majority of people would lead the king in that situation. I think I probably would. Alan would be a little cleverer than me. He usually is. Do we have any other questions on board 7? Okay, let's find board 8, the last one. Export it to the day one. And West is going to play this in 3 no trumps with no opposition bidding, so we'll just let him bid 3 no trumps. And we get the lead of the 10 of clubs. Alan made a little note here that at the table when this was played, I don't know who played it. It's a real hand, he tells us, but Declarer took what we will call the free club finesse, because even if South has got the queen, he's not going to win the trick with it. But we need to look ahead a bit further than that. Let's say we put the jack on and it's covered with the queen and we win with the king. Now we're pretty much limited to if the diamonds are 3-3 or the jack of diamonds drops, because we won't have another entry back to the west hand without losing too many tricks. So we really don't want to put all our eggs into that basket. Maybe we can use the jack of clubs instead of trying to make a trick with it now. We can use it to stop the suit a bit later. When, if we lose a lead to South, South couldn't attack clubs anyway. And surely the hearts show quite a lot of potential. We've got 2 hearts to knock out, but which way around are they going to be? And we'll preserve the diamonds until later. So we're not going to put the jack of clubs on. Let's see what happens if we do. That's probably a good idea. It's jack, queen, king. Well, a bit too late now for us to play on hearts, because what will happen is that South will win and will knock out the other club. Let's do it. Overtakes to make sure we can continue with the suit. And whether East wins it or not, with the diamonds not breaking, he hasn't got enough tricks. I don't know. We've got once with the rule of 7. I'm not sure that it's a matter of that. It's a matter of say. I'm going to save it to Sanya. Yeah. So if Declarer takes this, and if he doesn't, it'll just continue. Right now he's got 2 tricks, and he can make the ace of spades is 3, and 3 more diamonds is 6. He's going a long way off. Well, he may be able to set up they're going to come with some spades, but the opposition in a position to cash. They've already made 1 trick. They're going to make 3 club tricks is 4, and the ace of hearts is 5. Even if Declarer plays a heart now, then the contract's going off, and they may still finish up with a spade or a diamond. So we'll save it here. This is going to be 1 off. And then we'll put the board back up to the table. Why not cover with the jack? Because we lose the entry. That's why. Let's see. Well, we just saw what happens. Not sure what the question is now. At which point should we
cover with the jack because you hope to win the trick with it and get a top at match points?
Yeah.
Question is, how much does it put the contract into jeopardy?
Yeah, it puts it in jeopardy every time that the queen of clubs is with South and the diamond's not breaking. Well,
And if the queen of clubs was right, it's still right later on.
Yes, exactly. Which is something Alan and I were talking about the other day. That if a suit is breaking 3-3 now, it'll still be breaking 3-3 when you've only got 4 cards left. And if finesse is right, if it's right now, it'll still be right 10 tricks time, so whatever. So anyway, we're starting off with the 10 of clubs. This time we're not going to put the jack on. I think what Ratner is asking, if you had the ace jack 9-8 or something like that, then yes, it would be right to put, but he wouldn't be leading the 10 from 10-0. You ducked the first club, but then you carried on with hearts, Dennis, which was the right thing to do. Now, as long as you continue with hearts, leave the diamonds alone. If they're breaking, they'll be breaking later. In the meantime, what is going to happen here? If North takes his ace of hearts, then he's not going to have an entry to make his club tricks. On the other hand, if he leaves it round to his partner, and his partner can't attack clubs anyway. So, which does he do? Well, let's say he goes up with the ace and continues clubs because he thinks his partner's got the queen. But again, declarer doesn't take the finesse. He uses the jack of clubs as a stop, even if South has got 2 clubs left. He hasn't, but if he had, the jack would still protect the suit as long as it's South that's got the king of hearts. And we've still got the spade as an entry. We've got 3 heart tricks in dummy. South is probably going to switch to a diamond now. And it hurt to take the spade finesse. Does it help us? We've taken 3 tricks. We've got 2 more diamonds is 5 and 3 hearts is 8 and the ace of spades is 9 and the jack of clubs is 10. And if we take the spade finesse and it loses, we're still going to make 10. So there's no benefit in taking the spade finesse. So we can cross the dummy with, we can lead the queen of spades, but we're not going to run it. And we'll cash our 3 heart tricks. North can throw his spade. North can throw a club. But what is North going to throw on the last one? If he throws a club, both the jack and the 5 of clubs will be good. So he has to throw a diamond. And now we can cash the jack of clubs. Alan didn't spot the squeeze, of course.
I was, with my level of technique, I was glad to just make the contract.
And we're going to make 11 tricks now because the jack of diamonds is now going to be dropping. Okay. And that's board. We love Alan, really, don't we? Yes. We make our 11 tricks, so we say that both ways. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 8? Okay. You have any more comments, Alan?
No, none. Well done. They said maybe the actual real player did this truly terrible. Not only took the club finesse and won with the king, didn't even hold up. Then the next step was ace, king, queen of diamonds. Just I get nightmares at night trying to go to sleep when I think of levels of
Yeah.
play like that. But there we go.
You go back to the days when you think to yourself, I used to play like
I
that.
don't think I
Back when.
ever played like that. Even then, Colin, I
Uh,
didn't play
uh,
like
uh,
that.
okay, we don't have any other questions or comments. It's been lovely having you with us. Thanks again to Alan for his input and for collecting all these hands for us so that we've got them. I think Sanya's given us some now for the next few weeks. We'll be having fun with those, I'm sure. And it's 9:45 here in the UK, nearly. I'm going to close down well, I need to stop the share, and I'll stop the recording in a moment.